Hey, brothers and sisters from the Starknet ecosystem. Welcome back to the Star Cafe. This is Nurstar speaking, your personal Stark barista. And once again, we are ready to delight you with some very special Starknet content. So, guys, nice to have you back at the Star Cafe. And let's get ready for today's episode as we explore the concept of on-chain gaming surrealism with Cafe Cosmos and its founder. Cafe Cosmos is an on-chain tycoon game where you can build and grow your own coffee shop, your own coffee shop empire, let's say, while farming the food and the products that you need for your own coffee shops. And what a better place than the Star Cafe, to explore such an interesting game. And in order to explore Cosmos Cafe and its visions, and also its in-game assets and peculiarities in the best way possible. We're going to host Nico from Cafe Cosmos that I see he just joined us. So I'm very happy he managed to join us. And so I already see that he managed to get the permission to speak. So let's give him a warm welcome. Hey Nico, how is it going?
Hello, Nurstar. I am great. How are you, man?
I'm doing great as well. Thanks a lot for coming to the Star Cafe. I'm very excited about this episode, and I'm really curious to know more about Cafe Cosmos and its on-chain features and its vision above all. Because I watched your introductory video together with Nick Lulich a couple of days ago, and I was amazed by the beauty of the philosophy of the game itself. So I'm really looking forward to this episode. And having said that, let's start with an icebreaker about your crypto journey. How did you get into crypto, and how did you get interested about Starknet as well? The floor is yours.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Nurstar. Pleasure being here. Yeah. Okay. All right. How did I get into crypto? Ah. Okay. Honestly, back in 2015, I first started using crypto because I found out that there was a way on the internet where I could buy weed with my mom's credit card. So that was for me like the biggest hack ever when I was 15. And so immediately I was like, okay, I need to learn more about this thing. So already when I was 20, um, more and more I was like, oh, this is like the coolest thing ever. It's kind of like the Pirate Bay, but for money. So, I grew up as a bit of a pirate, growing up in Venezuela. Like, dude, free Photoshop and like free Steam games, like that was the the essence of life for me, right? This ability to get information and like nobody can stop you, and like they try and they're on the news and they're crying on CNN, but oh, they just can't stop you from downloading Photoshop and cracking it. And to me, that essence is what crypto is. So in 2020, I was really bored at university, um, and I decided to start trying to build trading bots, and that began a journey that quickly ended up in token engineering. And in token engineering, I got to work for cool people like Boson and Panther, and I was doing token design for them and like token simulations. And so that was that was a great experience. But then like soon after, I was like, all right, well, like I could I could sit here and be a consultant, or I could try to make something. I was like, all right, that sounds fun. What am I gonna make? I was like, all right, well, let's make a game. So I sat down at around 3 in the morning, as one does, and I pulled out a Sharpie and a napkin, and I started trying to make a restaurant game. I was like, well, we can't just mint money to people. That would be stupid, right? We can't just give money away for free. That's not how money works. Little did I know that's exactly what games were doing at the time. And so I was like, okay, well, what if we take a little tax out of this and we like redistribute it to everybody, like based on how well they're playing? And that was in 2021, and that has started a very long journey that leads up until today, and which is the formation of Cafe Cosmos, the trippy space cafe simulator. So yeah, that's a little intro into my journey, but there's a lot more.
Fair enough, Nico. Fair enough. Yeah, I burst out laughing at first when you when you said your first use cases. When it comes to crypto, was very fun, and what a very unique background. And also, yeah, I can imagine also the experience that you gained, during DeFi season and during this bull run by working as a tokenomics engineer, and yeah, that's very cool. Besides that, let's get a bit deeper into Cosmos Cafe. So I would love to know, even though you already gave me a hint, but I would like to know more. What is Cosmos Cafe for you? How did you come out with this idea? And what's the main goal of the game? What makes it different from common Web2 tycoon games on one hand, and from the first generation of play-to-earn games on the other hand?
Yeah, right on. Yeah, beautiful question. So Cafe Cosmos. So to me, Cafe Cosmos is it's a congruency. So as you know, in StarkNet, we deal a lot with congruencies, and I think there's something so beautiful and magical about congruencies because there's like this mystery behind it. It's almost like reincarnation, right? It's like this mystery behind it, but it makes sense mathematically. It makes sense, but we don't know how we got here. So that's what Cafe Cosmos is to me in a sense. It's like we don't really know where it is. Is it like out in space? Is it in the bottom of the ocean? And a lot of it like has similarities with real life. Like we don't know if this is in the future. We don't know if this is in the past. But like the beautiful thing to me, and one thing that we really try to shine in Cafe Cosmos is that things that happen in the universe, whether they happen like here or like 100 billion light years away or at the bottom of the ocean, like they all have these congruencies, these similarities. And for Cafe Cosmos, we decide to really study those. We decide to really dig into like, okay, what are the fundamental elements of stories, right? And so that's like the universe we've created with Cafe Cosmos. Now, what that looks like in the token economic side and why that's decentralized, I can go into that too. But that's just to give you a little bit of a taste of the artistic philosophy we build with.
Absolutely. We can go back to the tokenomics of the game later on. In fact, I would like to know a bit more about the practical structure of the game, and how do the players play in the game? How will players have fun while getting some of the in-game assets as well? So let's imagine we are starting playing with the Cafe Cosmos game. We get our land. How will it look like to users?
Yeah. So we start out. We buy land, and we do that with the Cafe Cosmos currency. And so we buy our own plot of land, and that's like our own plot. It's very much like The Sims, in which we're almost in our own world. And so when we buy this land, we get like a 25 by 25 plot, and it's just jungle, right? We've got like trees, we've got grasses around, we've got ores, minerals, all sorts of like magical things from this mysterious land. And what we can do is we can start trying to take some things like sticks and rocks, and we can try to assemble them into more powerful items, such as we can make tools. So wow, we can make an axe and we can chop down a tree, or even better, like once we got some wood, we can create like walls and floors, and we can start making a little cafe, and using more things and smelting ores and such, we can get to appliances, so we can make ovens, and before you know it, you have this like cafe that's in the middle of this like cosmic jungle, and you get to essentially be self-sufficient in it, and that's where like the decentralization part comes in. It's like you can be self-sufficient in it, or you can specialize and you can deal in a free market, right?
I see. Yeah, I had a look, at the video you shot last week, the recent video you did last week, and I watched the old video, and it was nice to see that you need to take care of the plants, otherwise they will get rotten, and you will lose also, I guess, the fertility of the land. So you need to take care of your animals as well. And speaking about animals, I would love to dedicate a question only to them and to the peculiar characters and philosophies of the animals on the Cafe Cosmos game, because I was listening to what you said about them, and it was very fascinating that you want to give a special character to each animal that is going to be on the game on your farm, and you also you're engineering ways to make meat without obviously showing the process of of butchering the animal. So you're coming out with some curious ways to do that. So would you like to go a bit deeper on that? Tell me about the characters of the animals.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, so I will preface by mentioning that like everything that's happening here is fully on chain. It's what a lot of people are calling like an autonomous world, right? And so the chain to us is this magical thing, right? A magical universe, right? We really want to like get the magic out of it. And so for us, when we see animals, we see conscious beings, right? And conscious beings beyond like our expectations of them, but more so of these funny creatures that like have insights into the world, which we could never register from our own senses, right? So you might learn something different from 5 years of being a cow than from 5 or 10 years of being a human or paying taxes. You know what I mean? So cows for us are this like highly spiritual being, right? In many cultures, like the cow is a highly spiritual being, but we just love cows. They're meditative, they're chill, they're highly spiritual, they're smart, and I think there's something funny about like humans seeing cows as like dumb or fat or whatever, and like in reality, they're actually just so smart. They're like not playing the game, they're not like involved in this society scheme that we've come up with. So cows are like our Buddhists. Pigs are narco capitalists. We love our pigs. They're very intelligent. They're very well read. And the game does have this anarcho capitalist theme to it. And then the sheep. The sheep are AI accelerationists, right? Like these guys, they just want Neuralink in their brain. They want like, artificial wombs. Okay, like you might disagree with the sheep. The sheep, like they're big fans of WorldCoin. They're like scanning their eyeballs and shit. Like, so that's the sheep for you. And while they all have very different, sometimes clashing personalities, we decide to bring an honest story from each of them, even if I don't want to scan my eyeball, with an orb. The sheep has extremely good arguments. Arguments that could sometimes even stump me, right? So I think our responsibility as creators is to bring life and honesty and a sense of baseness from every sort of point of view in the universe to this like universal gallery of thought.
That's amazing. Yeah, cool. And I suppose that you will also have like there will be while you're playing the game, there will be some conversation windows, right? For example, when you run into a cow, like a dialogue will appear, right? And she will tell you her philosophy, stuff like that. Am I right?
Oh yeah. You'll get a tidbit. You'll get a tidbit. But like our goal is to like, it's like the same tidbit like you'd get from a monk after living in like out in the land of the monks, the same bit you'd get from him, like, it's like what you'd get from the cow just running into her, right? It's like we want like the game to have a level of like storytelling and writing that is just like mirrors exactly like the form of like wisdom.
I see, I see. Cool. So it would be like running into a monk while you're traveling like throughout Japan, for example, stuff like that, experiences like that. Yeah, I really love that. And also you were speaking about the characters of the pig, but I remember, from that video I told you about, there's also a special pig, right? A special pig with a
Yeah.
very particular character and role as well. Could you tell me a bit more about him?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we got the piggy bank teller. So the piggy bank teller, as I say in the video, he's a bit of a sketch ball. He's like this like 1920s bank teller, and he'll sell you meat. We honestly don't know where he gets his meat from, and he's got his reasons, but yeah, he's a little sketchy, right? So we've got different pigs. I mean, some pigs definitely don't agree with him for sure, but no two pigs agree entirely with each other on anything. So yeah, that's one of our special characters.
That's great. And another thing I remember from the video is that, some of the animals could be a blessing for the farmer, right? And
Yeah.
before telling me about that, could you also end this question with could you end your answer by also telling me a bit more about the concept of on-chain gaming surrealism that you also mentioned, and yeah, would like to know a bit more about this.
Yeah. Yeah, so the holy animals concept is one we're developing right now, and I wish I could show you guys because we actually just got some new concept art for it. But the idea is that, like, you'll have like your regular animals, your regular cows and sheep, they're regular. But every once in a while, you just see a glowing orb. You're like, what is this? What is this orb? And you zoom in, and it's a holy cow. And so this holy cow, if you feed it, you treat it right, you talk to it, you put a little sweater on it at night. You know what I mean? You take it out for walks. You play some music for it, some liquid drum and bass. You can actually form a bond with this cow, and the cow, if the cow is so happy with your essence as a person, the cow will eventually leave to go back to her homeland, um, and she will leave a shrine. So she leaves a cow shrine with you, a special cow shrine that you must treasure and take care of. And if you put offerings on this cow shrine, sometimes you will get cow products. So you can get like beef, for example. She will just drop you off a little gift. So that is our shrines, and all animals are going to have their own shrine. And in terms of surrealism, of on-chain surrealism, what we are looking at is, well, okay, taking a step back. So surrealism, the reason why I'm so fascinated with surrealism is because me and my buddy Cam, like growing up, and we were like, I don't know, we were like 17, we would just kick back and we would just do acid like sometimes and just watch like Robot Chicken and like all sorts of things. And like the concept never left my head that like it's just absolutely hilarious to watch TV and like watch people like be serious and stuff, and like they look all like pixelated and weird, and there's just I feel like there's such a flimsy it's a very flimsy like cover on reality and like people's like egos and like what we think we're supposed to be and like what we are and like our fears and our insecurities and our confidence. Like there's such a flimsy thing, and like oftentimes I think we're too conscious for our own good as humans, and we're like, holy shit, like am I even doing anything right? So that to me is absurdism, where it's like you can see through that veil and you're like, what the fuck? Like, that is like the most abstract being I've ever seen in my life, right? And it's like manifesting itself in all these weird ways. And anyway, to me, the best way of bringing to life that surrealism in code is through blockchain. So the reason why I say this is because blockchain, we can like define these digital physics almost, right? It's like we set our rules and anything else goes on top of it, right? And we can let people manifest themselves through these rules, right? So when we create a world like Cafe Cosmos, we emphasize just how absurd life is and just how ridiculous like everything really is, and just how much like point of view we're lacking sometimes. And I think that comes out in like just many hilarious ways, and I think that will bring out the best in players, because our building philosophy at the end of the day is that if you let people really express themselves, you get something very beautiful out of it.
Great, Nico. Thanks a lot. What a fascinating explanation of on-chain surrealism. I really love that. And going back also to the holy cows and to the holy animals, as far as I understood, as a player, you will not know about the holiness of the animals, as long as the animals are on your farm, right? You will discover that if they were holy, only once they leave your farm from one day to the other. Am I right about that?
No, the animals, you will know a holy animal when you see it.
I see. Yeah, sorry, then I got it wrong. Cool. Well, let's move a bit about the general technical the general technical features of on-chain gaming in general. I would like to know your view on that. And tell us a bit about your views about the new frontiers that L2s are bringing on the gaming field. And what potential do you see in features like account abstraction and session keys, and how do you plan to take advantage of them while deploying a Cafe Cosmos on Starknet?
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I mean, account abstraction is like this thing that we were wishing for a couple years ago, and it seems it has come. And the idea of having a session key for a wallet was like so far away from reality when we started building this. And now it's here, and now it's on Starknet, and I can go into why I love Starknet too. But I think like account abstraction, well, I mean, it's going to be so easy to just, put your fingerprint in, and you're in the game, and it's a wallet, you're a self-sovereign individual, you're censorship resistant, and it's all you, and it's all open source. And I just think that's going to be an extremely powerful thing. I think mixed with like what Madara is offering, and if we have like trustless, extremely cheap app specific L3s, uh, you know, yeah, it's just I think that's like literally the holy grail.
Absolutely, yeah. I think possibilities are endless. There's a lot of room for experimentations about gaming in general, and also about other different primitives. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how the things will develop in terms of on-chain gaming. And I'm very excited about Cafe Cosmos. Then I was also researching a bit the Curse of Mira game, which is a game which is being developed by Lambda class, and which is actually very busy with the Starknet Cairo and Rust infrastructure. So I can't wait to see how the gaming scene on Starknet will look like in 1 year, 2 years. I'm very excited about that. And before asking you for for the last question, I would like to, first of all, to say hello to the audience once again. I see that also Secretive from Lottery Arms is here with us. Hey, man, nice to have you here. Then we have Out Something, Calculator, and Eat Daily, Murray Heath. And thanks a lot, guys, for being here. And if you would like to ask Nico for some questions, feel free to send me speaking permission. And after Nico answers the last question from my side, we'll ask him for yours. So having said that, Nico, tell me a bit about the future roadmap for the Cafe Cosmos, please.
Yeah. So the roadmap is, right now we're looking at, and this is the joke that we've been having at the Autonomous Anonymous conference, because we've been building this stuff for so long. But just now, we're going to be working with a new team of developers, and it's looking like we could be in Starknet in the next 4 months, right? So fully on Starknet, fully with possible dojo integration as well, and also with account abstraction too. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be an exciting couple, like 4 months coming up. The Starknet ecosystem is also booming, and may I say booming with the right people, because everybody I meet from Starknet is literally so dope. I met some of the guys in here, like What's Good, Secretive, Realms, Calc, Outsmith. I don't know if we met, but like regardless, everyone I met from Realms was so dope, and Dojo, Break, etc. So yeah, I am very excited. The culture is very proper, and like including yourself, Nurstar. It's a dope crew.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, Nico. Really appreciate that. Yeah, we're trying our best to be as dopest as possible, and we are rocking it. And having said that, I see that Secretive, with our friend Secretive, would like to ask you for a question. So, hey, Secretive, welcome to the Star Cafe. The floor is yours.
Hey, Nestor. Hey, Nico. Hey, I just wanted to say hello. And and I think that having met Nico over last week, I thought this guy's going to go on to build something wild. And then hearing about it today, I realized it's even more wild than I'd ever imagined. I cannot believe it. It's fantastic. So I just wanted to say hi. And I wanted to find out when the sauna, the Cosmos sauna, was going to be added into the mix.
Yo, amazing to see you, Secretive, dude. Thanks for the kind words. So yeah, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. But a lot of what we've been thinking about is events. We're really trying to just break this box that like events have like fallen into. And my one of my favorite projects right now is this Sauna DAO. It's the Sauna DAO on Twitter, and saunas, as me and Secretive were talking about, are like this magical box that you go into, and it just lowers inhibitions, and it like gets out this like true essence out of people in a way that like alcohol never can, right? So I think that like saunas are such a great place to communicate ideas, get like true honest criticism on like concepts and designs. And man, I just think we need to be in saunas more. So like, one of the events we're thinking about doing is like Starknet goes to the sauna. So, all the boys linked up, all the girls too, like whatever. We've got like a pretty sick sauna in Toronto called Othership. And so, that's something we're thinking of planning around for one of the larger Toronto visits. We're mostly, we're pretty everywhere, but I'm based out of Toronto too. So, you can find me there. But yeah, man, more saunas.
Yeah, it's epic. Well, I will say goodbye now and say, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the project. And I'm super pleased to hear that you're also thinking about building with Dojo. And I look forward to some kind of Realms Cafe Cosmos integration or crossover. I think that'd be excellent.
Yeah, man, I'm super stoked for that too.
Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot, Secretive, for your question and for saying hello to everybody. Thanks a lot. See you around. And yeah, Nico, I mean, it's been an amazing episode. I think one of the funniest of the Star Cafe history. And I'm really looking forward to get some nice land on the Cafe Cosmos, you know, and build the Star Cafe on it. And maybe making an episode while playing with the game, you know, together with you would be amazing. And, you know, having said that, thanks a lot once again for coming, Nico. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And you know, I wish you all the best with the development of the game. So yeah, you're a great guy, and keep it up with the great work.
Thank you, Nursar. Yeah, thank all you guys for coming out. I appreciate y'all, and I'm very happy to be working alongside every single one of you. So appreciate you, Nursar. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot once again, Nico. And thanks a lot. Special thanks also go to all our live listeners today. Thanks a lot, guys. And well, I think we need to close the Star Cafe right now. And remember sharing the Starknet vibe, and see you the next time. Bye. Bye bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.